my team keeps going, hey, Joe, let's do Facebook ads. And I'm like, convince me that we should. And then they do. And I'm like, damn it. This is the thing I did not know was a thing, but it's a thing. So let's kick it off with where this all came from. So we're getting ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We've been getting ready for months, changing our offer and things like that. And Ange, as usual, was like, let's do Facebook ads. And then I was like, and Erin was like, okay, if we're doing it, we're going to warm up that pixel first. So Erin, what does that even mean?
It means basically, so pixel, if I were to explain it, is that there's a little bit of code on your website. So where people end up landing after they see your ads, and it gets smarter and smarter the more data that you feed it. So with Copyhackers historically not doing very much Facebook advertising, there's that pixel is not necessarily very smart. So basically the idea is we want to feed the pixel. And I should add that this great Facebook experiment is on Black Friday, which is pretty much the craziest time of the year for people to advertise on Facebook, start advertising on Facebook. If you can imagine, the demand is huge. Yeah, that's another consideration, just sort of getting the ball rolling beside the day. And on Black Friday 2 years ago, the entire advertising platform shut down. So this is kind of the thing that we're dealing with. So
I love how you're telling me that now.
We say yes,
that was conveniently left out of the discussion. That's so funny. Okay, so that's the whole concept. And then it's like, well, how do we actually go forward and do it? But also let's get into like why we're going to do this. So the whole idea here, and this is me as I understand it, and Ange and Erin are going to fill in all the gaps that I don't have in my knowledge. Very limited knowledge about this, just a lot of judgment though. So before you run ads, you want to help Facebook figure out to whom to show your ad. That will, let's get into why that's going to be useful. And tell us like why this is going to help.
Okay, so training your Facebook pixel is really important because unless you're running ads consistently on Facebook, the pixel needs training to find where your audience is and how they interact with your posts. So again, it's if you don't consistently run ads, and then it's also if you're targeting a new audience that you've never targeted before, just to see how they interact, because we always make assumptions of what we think will fly with our audience. And sometimes we're not right about that. So it gives you an opportunity to, I know, right? Mm-hmm. So it gives you an opportunity to check that out. And as well, obviously, when you go into creating your actual ads, where you're probably putting the bulk of your budget, you've got this amazing custom audience created that's warm because they've just recently interacted with your content. So they're showing an interest, and it's based on whatever conditions you set. So we kept our conditions really broad and just focused on copywriting as an interest. So it was really broad, but then we got to see how they interacted with our posts. And then as well, it's an opportunity to test your creative. So we tested 3 videos. They had 3 headlines and 3 ad copy variations. So then we got to test those and see which ones came out on top. And again, we were surprised with the results that, I shouldn't say really surprised, but it was the one that we thought would steal the show. Didn't. It still performed well, but we thought it would outperform the others by so much. So it gives you an opportunity to test the ad creative that your audience will respond to.
Yeah, and I should add too that that's kind of the thing with Facebook is you never really know what Facebook is going to like, what's going to resonate with people. So we can go in with hypotheses, which we definitely do. But yeah, I mean, it keeps you humble in a way because it's never what you expected. And then it's just data. We learn and we learn and we learn, and then we can take these learnings and optimize. So it's a fun experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was surprising to me, so in even warming up, the whole idea of warming up the pixel, when we're used to everything that we've done for Facebook ads before has been just like, here we have this thing, look at it or buy it or whatever, with still like smarts behind that too, right? But because we've never warmed up our pixel before going into like a launch or a campaign, I was like, well, what are we even putting in these warm up ads? What are we even calling them? So can you guys talk to like the content? Because I was like confused. Like, do we start talking about Black Friday? Are we warming them up for the offer? What's the warm up really for? And I do understand that training your Facebook pixel, but what's confused me along the way is, are we training it to find the right people for our offer? Or are we training it to just find the right people for our brand? So can you speak to that at all?
Yeah, I can speak to that. So yeah, basically in this case, we are warming them up to the brand. So the whole kind of beauty about this is that we are creating this custom audience. So I should mention, we are optimizing for video views. So it's not expensive. If we were optimizing for paid conversions, that would cost us a lot of money to learn. So we started broad. We're using copywriting interest, which is like an 8 million person audience around the world. So it's kind of twofold. The idea is that Facebook takes time to figure out what's going to resonate with people. And then second, it's the messaging. So as far as messaging, we are starting very, very like top of funnel, which is giving them something of value. So we're introducing them to the brand while giving them something that they can relate to, that they're going to kind of have their own little aha moment without pushing the sale. But we've actually gotten a pretty good click-through rate on there. So we have people clicking through to our homepage, and then we made sure to put on the hero of our homepage a little teaser about Black Friday. So for those people who are inclined to find more information, then they are able to see, ooh, there's something happening for Black Friday. I don't know what it is. And then when we hit them back, so this custom audience, the whole hypothesis behind it is that when Black Friday rolls around, this custom audience is going to highly outperform our broader copywriting interest targeting them cold. And then so messaging wise, we're not going to hit them with that, like, here's some valuable content. We're going to hit them with, hey, look, this is what, I don't know, what can I say here? This is what our offer looks like, a little bit more of what to expect. So we're kind of pushing them down the funnel because they're now familiar with Copyhackers as a brand, and they're more receptive to that kind of messaging. So definitely, we definitely still think of the funnel here, starting cold, starting at the top and pulling them down. So messaging is a critical piece of this.
Okay. All right, let's talk about then exactly how to do this. So if someone's like, cool, I get why, now how?
Yeah, so I already brought that up. So starting with a low cost conversion goal. So like I said, we're doing video views. It doesn't cost a lot of money. We can get a ton of traffic. So we're optimizing for people who watch 15 seconds. And so, again, our hypothesis there is that they are engaged enough that they're interested in the messages that we have for them. So we have this pool of people who we would consider quite engaged. So that's our conversion goal. It doesn't cost a lot of money to run that for 5 to 7 days, which we're doing. Like I said, we're targeting broad. So we're doing broad interests copywriting. So they may or may not be familiar with the Copyhackers brand. Our hypothesis going into this is that they are not. And then we don't touch them. So this is an important part. So basically we started running the ads on Thursday, didn't touch them. And it's hard. You see like different performances between the different ads that we have, and we want to like maximize that and tweak things, but we just put our hands up, handcuff them, whatever. And we don't touch them. And we actually were able to see performance drastically improve after like day 2 or 3. We're seeing more, like almost double the click-through rate than when we first started. And the idea behind that is that Facebook is actually smart. Facebook is able to find the people that are going to be the best people for you. So that's the idea, get it started. And then once that's done, then we create that custom audience. And there's also some thinking. So like warming up the pixel as a whole, aside from just creating a custom audience, is that, the more data it gets in general, the smarter it becomes. In this case, we're really focusing on the custom audience aspect, and it'll be really interesting. We actually start running our ads for Black Friday and seeing how this audience performs. And we think it's going to perform great. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, we hope.
We do, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
No, speaking to how Erin mentioned that you have to keep hands off and just let it run. So that's the only way the pixel is going to learn. If you keep changing things, it's starting over again, essentially. So yeah, it was Friday, I think, Erin, that I messaged you and I was like, oh, this one ad isn't doing what we thought it would. Should we do something? She's like, no, hands off. I'm like,
resist. And
yeah.
it's hard because, I mean, yeah, Facebook, I mean, you're spending money. So it is hard to just, you know, not touch things for a day. And then this is also when we start our Black Friday advertising, we are starting a full day early because we are going to just let things run for one entire day, a full 24 hours. I mean, we're going to look at it. We probably shouldn't look at it, but again, it is important to give that time, that hands-off time to let Facebook do what it does best.
As hard as that is. Okay, so pick a low cost. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like you should definitely not look at it on day one.
Oh no, I'm glad that when I go into Facebook, is it business manager now or ads manager, whatever it is, I don't even know which one I'm supposed to go into. And I'm like, that's probably for the best. I'm just going to stay out and they can take care of it. But as a recap, picking that low cost conversion goal, we're about to show you just how low cost we're talking. Target broad, that's something that I'm typically afraid of when it comes to an actual like ad where we're trying to get, you know, performance such as sales or driving people to the site so that the site can convert them. The untouched thing, big deal. And then that will, all of this creates a custom audience, or in the end, you should take what you learn and create a custom audience out of it by manipulating the data more.
No, this creates a custom audience and it actually can create multiple custom audiences because we now have people clicking through to our homepage. So that's, you know, that's one audience, which I mean, we're also going to be targeting our website visitors, but also this creates a custom audience. So people who have viewed our videos for 15 seconds, like that is an audience that exists. And now we're going to retarget them with new, slightly different messaging.
Cool. Okay. So then when we see this, cost per through play is a penny. Cost per unique link click is 54 cents. It's pretty low cost stuff. Because most people are used to hearing like, oh, when you do Facebook ads, be ready to spend like $20,000, $60,000, $100,000 on these ads. And that might be the case for in your campaign. You might throw a lot more money on it, maybe not that much. I think that can often be inflated. But this was, I think we spent $900 on this whole 5-7 day thing. Yeah. And the benefits based on what the purpose of warming up your pixel is should be great. Hopefully we'll see that when we actually launch these for Black Friday. Yeah. What else are we seeing here?
Do you want? Okay, so one thing we were really surprised at is the amount of video plays that it played through 100%. So that shows a lot of interest in who these ads are being placed in front of. The cost per unique link click. So that's people that actually clicked on the link that we provided in there. So that, which took them to our website, which had the hero section dedicated to our Black Friday reminder. Yeah, and then we can see video average playtime, which is really valuable to Mike, our videographer, because when he's creating new content, he knows on average how long people are giving this. So it tells us the length of videos to make going forward. Do you want to add to that?
All right.
I don't have anything in particular to add to that, but I do think we should also talk about, you know, the testing of creative aspect of this. So we can't see this in here, but we were also able to test multiple headlines, multiple ad texts within these 3 different sort of creative themes. And then so that is allowing us to learn about what has resonated. And then we are recycling that into our actual Black Friday campaign because, you know, this headline resonated with the most people, got the most clicks. Therefore, that's going to become our image overlay. So we're actually able to see what was working and then build on that for our actual Black Friday campaign. And then the other thing I think we should touch on also is cost as well. So like, yeah, cost is quite a bit cheaper. The thing about Black Friday is costs just go up all across the board. So this is, the strategy behind this is sort of a low cost way to create this audience. And then ideally our offer is so awesome on Black Friday, we really are going to see a distinctly higher return on ad spend on this particular audience compared to the other ones.
I love it. Now, confidence, content, PAS, which one won? Which one performed best, or which one was surprising, if any? I already know the answer, but I want to hear it.
Content came out on top, which we were
totally... What does content mean?
So we focused on defining the difference between content versus copy. The confidence one, we kept fun, and it was just like the problem a lot of copywriters face. So that those were kind of the focus of the confidence one. And PAS, problem, agitation, solution, Joe's favorite. Why is the word escaping me? Framework.
Yes.
Obviously very much information based. So it came in content number 1, confidence number 2, and PAS number 3. But they all performed really well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then this is also, it's interesting because I would, also consider all of these to be, fairly decent performance. So we will be recycling versions of these for the actual Black Friday campaign. And it will be interesting to see, what leads to conversion. So like, people actually buying Copy School. So this is, again, another bit of a question mark. We see what people are engaging with. We see what is resonating with people. And it will be interesting. This is kind of that, like, don't expect anything, don't assume anything. Who knows? It could be content is our major high performer on Black Friday. So it's again, we have data, but we also don't want to assume this really says anything, particularly because we don't have a conversion goal. And that is an important thing to remember. We're creating this audience, but the real test is coming a couple days from now.
Yeah, we do not know if these people are the right people to buy or take us up on Black Friday offer. So, but at least we have a smarter pixel now. We can do more with more confidence, at least. And of course, as always, everything is an experiment. It'd be nice if it wasn't, but it is. Cool. So thanks, Erin. Thanks, Ange. Thanks, everyone, for attending and your great questions. As you know, we do have this Black Friday thing coming up, so stay tuned for that. And everybody enjoy, if you're in the US or if you celebrate American Thanksgiving, enjoy it. Have a good one. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks.